Come on.
What up?
What's happening?
So we want to know, you got to change that left front fender?
No, it's actually, so that car, we've had it for like 5 years, right? That's the same fender that we led a bunch of laps of the Nashville and got wrecked with Hocevar.
Yeah.
And then it's been
That's not the same fender.
Oh, well, I backed in the fence. Knocked the whole back half off, but the front stayed around. So that's actually the same one that's been on that car.
We need to do an entry, right? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Keep finishing your story, and then I'll take it.
Well, that thing's still on there, so I don't think I am. It's got about a half-inch layer of Bondo underneath there that no one can see. I just keep putting vinyl and Bondo on it.
Damn, maybe that's a trick. Maybe that's what we need to do, right?
Yeah.
It's something.
But when we watched I seen the picture, there had to be 3 foot of wall left there.
Yeah.
That we just knew it was tore off.
Oh yeah, no, I've hit it probably 4 or 5 times just so you know you messed up when like this. It's all right to scratch it, but when it gets all the way back to where the door seam's at, you done messed up.
I know I can't get that low. My shit won't turn that good.
I'm just like, I'll never forget. We were at Oswego many years ago, and open wheel modifieds. When you can't hit a fender, you're gonna rip the left front off. We go out, we do a mock run, and at Oswego, you can see your lap time going to the corner. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the top of the board. I watch the number go to P1. Well, as I'm watching that happen, I clipped the left front right in the inside wall.
Oh, no.
My father was waiting at the scales for me. He said, all right, come on, bring it over the scales. Good job. Yeah, I'll see you back over the pits. What? Dragging the left front all the way in.
So everyone, we got Derek Thorn, 2022 Snowball Derby winner here with us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, just exciting weekend. We know you enjoy coming to this place. You've led a lot of laps over the last couple of years. Some of us can't lead any. So
you seem to dominate this place, man. It seems like it's one of those things. Coming from California, you came out to California there for a long time and put it to us. And it's this track, as you know, like you go to certain tracks, your packages just happen to work well. Yeah. And, we'd come here a lot of years and struggled. We had cars there for a while. We had a Victory Circle car for a minute.
Man, you took a wild ride here, what, 11, 12?
11 it was, yeah. We'd shown up first time, thought we were going to come out here and be somebody, and we got humbled real quick, blew 2 motors.
Man, yeah, you blew 2 motors that week, that's right.
Yeah. Remember, that was last year. It was real cold. No, we didn't.
Y'all had a rough weekend, man. We've all had race, weekends at the racetrack where you don't want to be there, And
you went upside down.
Yeah, we did for a minute. It's actually a pretty gentle wreck, though. I'd do that wreck all day long. Here? No, I do that wreck all day long versus hitting the fence at 100 mile an hour.
Yeah,
it just was kind of a gentle. I think it was a missed opportunity after rolling. A body flew off. I done should have jumped on top of the roof or something. Yeah. But I think I gained more fans from that one flip. Yeah, they don't remember me for doing well here. They say, man, you got to flip that one time.
Nice. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, we enjoy coming out to California there. Have you ever run Irwindale? You ever been out there? Man, you can take my car. There we go right there. Right? We can go to Irwindale this year. We can put it in Harvick's trailer if we can work it out.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go that far anymore. Oh my God, it's a tough drive. But I always liked coming out there and racing. We kind of, Brennan's the reason we did it. I think it was 15, 16 there. We just kind of felt like our program was kind of ready, didn't know what it was doing. But we enjoyed going out there. We had a lot of fun. I think was that the first showdown. I think is what it was. They put that deal on with Evergreen, so we went out there and did that deal too. So we had a lot of fun and.
You guys brought a lot of money back out east.
Yeah, we got lucky on that deal. We had a good little run there for a little bit, but. I think do you have GART cars then?
Yeah.
Great American cars?
Well, hard part for us, like when we were out west, like Ricky Brooks bridged the gap of rules. We had, when we first started coming to the Derby in 12, 13, we had all perimeters out west.
Yeah,
there wasn't even a straight rail allowed. So like we had to have a separate car just to come back here. And then as that transition and Ricky Brooks kind of bridged that gap in rules, it made it easy for us to acquire Furies and come out here and at least compete.
You think since that point you've seen, and I've saw it a little bit since going out to California, and then coming back here, for the last couple of years going that way. I think I wouldn't say racing's changed out there, but I think in that little period of there, the West, I mean, it took a different. How I say it, I'm lost for words there. But the racing changed. The cars changed. It went through a change there. I thought it was better for short track racing. Would you agree? That y'all could come out here
and I think it bridges the gap and it helps. I think you get. I mean, at the end of the day, we're an entertainment sport, and I think when you have guys out west coming out here, or you going out west, it just gets eyes and ears in the sport, and it kind of makes everything more equal. Because I feel like the West Coast, I wouldn't say it's the great. Like, people don't see it. If you went out west, it doesn't seem as appealing as winning back east, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you can come out here and compete when you go back home, at least I feel like you're kind of more on an even playing field. At least help even that gap a little bit.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about the modified? He might be too long-legged to get in the modified, huh?
He is super tall.
I think he'll fit.
And
Those things got a pretty small cockpit.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
We stuffed him in one before.
Man, I was wall to wall on that thing.
Is it a lot more power than Supers?
Well, I never got to have a legitimate shot. We didn't make a couple laps, so I didn't get to really experience it.
Right.
But they are badass though.
The power is about the same. It's just the tire and how the transition from how they drive at night and in the pack. And he always tells me New Smyrna Super Late model is not the most fun racetrack. Well, in a modified, it is rip it. You know what I mean? You run top, you run middle, bottom, you put it where you want it. And the fun thing about those cars is you make them do what you want them to do. So.
Yeah, for the supers, the straightaway needs to be a little bit longer. Or you need a little bit more motor, one of the two. Like, it's just maxed out.
Have you raced there before? You raced New Smyrna?
Yeah.
Been there?
A couple times with Pat Jet.
Okay, that's right.
Back in the day, yeah. He gave me some pretty cool opportunities. I mean, like coming out here to Pensacola, this place is line dependent.
Yeah.
But getting to race for him those years, like 15, 16, got to run New Smyrna, some places like that. It's pretty cool.
Where's the line?
It's definitely
it's apparently in the inside wall.
That's right.
It's hid inside the wall in there somewhere.
I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I ain't got that many laps here. I wonder if 3 and 4 you can run about a half groove up and arc it down. Well, you just answered that question. I think you got to put it right in the left front, right on the line.
Well, I'm telling you, I've been here racing here for quite some time now. The line has changed. It's gotten more line sensitive in the last couple of years, I thought. Because Brown say, like, if you didn't arc it out in 3 right here, what do you say back in the Gart days?
Dude,
early, I mean, you couldn't.
I remember watching like Chase Elliott
Yeah,
in the 3
Chase,
when he was fast, man. It was crazy high in the 3.
Yeah.
The .com on the Pensacola over there's where he used to turn in.
But I can't run your line into 1 is unique in my opinion. I can't arc it like you do.
See, I can't come close to yours.
Yeah, I couldn't even think I would be backing in turn 1 wall.
I'm watching
lap 15 if I run your line.
I'm watching you over there. I'm like, how the hell is he getting close to the inside wall and making that thing
I'm thinking the same thing, just in reverse.
So it's cool that different people got different driving styles and can get around different places. But what do you think about the weekend?
I think it sucks the weather doesn't look real good. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is a cool event. Like the Derby itself, it's just crazy.
It's something you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Every year. You know.
I remember being in our hotel. Remember our hotel last year, like we were in the lobby, and there's like a group of 15 people come from Maine every year. It's something they do.
Yeah.
And I think you just get a whole mesh of people coming from all over the place that just want to be here and have a good time.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. What how'd you deal? What'd you think about? How'd your year go so far? I mean, I know. Kind of had some ups and downs there. Kind of doing a different deal.
Yeah.
Really a new deal, and then you got to work all that out. And
it's a change of pace. It's like anything else that's working through. And I think you go through. Depends on the track you're going to, the time of year, how hot it is, and like whether or not your car's happy. Right? You show up to the track, you unload, and the car's right. It makes things easy. I feel like we've had to scrap for some top 3s. We've been there most of the time. North Wilkesboro is kind of a fluke deal. We didn't run real good there. But for the most part, Chris Purdy and Paul Schaefer, those guys have a really good program. It's the same. It's just like kind of.
Man, they built some nice race cars.
They do. I mean, it's all Fury stuff, so I feel like our notebooks and stuff cross-reference really well. And we've had some fun. We haven't won, together yet, but we've had some fun, run well.
Have you gotten to go some places? I know North Wilkesboro you probably hadn't got to go to before, but some of those other places, what do you think? What's kind of track you look forward to going back to next year?
Nashville. I just hope that place doesn't go away. I think that's the one track I went to when I first came down to Northern California.
Glad you like it.
Fast.
No, I'm just like.
But yeah, I thought I-44 was fun. It's just any place you can get car count.
Man, we had a hell of a race going on I-44.
We did. It kind of sucked. It turned out the way it did.
Yeah,
that thing was rolling the bottom good. Yours was.
I was like, I couldn't pass you around the top because y'all had it both covered. And I was tight when I went up there. Yeah. So I was like, hell, I'm gonna try it and just make it work. And somehow it worked. But yeah, it's just kind of. I ended up. There was a little instance deal there, but I didn't get. I wasn't gonna make it through the second race anyways. Come find out, we had a. Spur gears coming out the back of it, so we wasn't gonna make it through the second race, so we kind of got lucky there. But that was a pretty cool place. It's hard to pass, a lot of fun. But
North Wilkesboro is getting repaved, right?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all. I know the modified's going back. I don't
think
know.
so.
Late mod stock's going back, sure, but I've heard nothing for the supers yet. I don't think
Pros and stocks are going twice.
Yeah.
And modifieds are going back, I think.
When do they put out all these schedules? When is like ASA or
man?
SRL?
It's been late. I think they're going to do
It'll be
PRI.
PRI.
Yeah. So,
Are you going to go to Berlin? You got to go to Berlin.
Man, I went there.
Berlin.
There's 3 tracks on my list that I just cannot.
Man, that Berlin's
love.
got Derek Thorn written all over.
I'm telling you,
it, man.
Berlin,
You gotta go.
Greenville Pickens.
Greenville Pickens?
Yeah, and then one of that Cayuga track before they repaved it up there in Canada. Those are the 3 tracks where I got there and we were fast, and I just burnt tires off and it laps down. So I'm like, I don't like them places.
So you've been to Berlin?
I have one time back in 07.
Damn.
Yeah,
Man, I got
Didn't
that
you tell
same
me you
problem. I
burned
burned
the
tires
tires
off
off
it.
Tucson?
Yeah, I burnt tires. I don't like Tucson
Yeah,
either.
so it's 4 tracks.
Struggle.
They're trying to
Yeah.
talk me into going that Tucson. Is it Chili Willy that week before Irwindale or something?
Yeah, it's back-to-back weeks to Irwindale, right?
Yeah.
That's that was my vote.
Yeah. I
You're
think
gonna
Berlin,
go
I'm
do
gonna
both.
have to get back in the saddle for Berlin though. I'm gonna have to try it again at least.
Man,
some
I'm
point in
telling
time.
you.
Yeah.
The Schaefer's right there. They're like an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
they're
sense.
not far.
That's
It's
a
an
unique
awesome
place.
racetrack.
It's pretty neat. But a lot of people, man, you've been around a long time. I
Yeah.
mean, you didn't get to come out east here until I guess 11. There, it's probably the first time you really.
Yeah.
But you've won a lot of races, done a lot of championships in that east deal.
6 SRL
In the
championships.
SRL,
Yeah.
A couple in the West, but like it's just one of them things. It's at some point in time, like you did. I wouldn't say it's discredited, but I've been. Like, you just gotta play the card you're dealt, right? You're dealt a certain
That's
hand,
right.
and I've been just fortunate. Like with Byron, gave me 10 years there driving
Yeah.
that I otherwise would have never got.
Yeah.
So it's just, and I've been fortunate to have guys that have given me chances and stay behind me, have faith in me,
Yeah.
just as sponsors, and that's what keeps all this going.
And that's what we was talking about Pepperjack here, being with you guys and you and how they've helped you, and not only you, but what they've done for short track racing. We was talking about it earlier, the giveaways, the best average finisher earlier this year. They've helped a lot of people, and we need those guys like the Tool Shack and so many different people that get involved with the sport and stay around for a while, like the Camels has been there. And we hate they shut their operation down. We don't ever want to see people go out of the sport, but it's people.
It's an expensive sport.
It is. It's tough, and it's gotten tough over the last couple of years. And
So how did you get hooked up with Pepperjack?
So I've known Marty and Misty for the last 20 years.
So
They're from
put the
Northern
connection
California,
there.
right?
Yeah.
So put the connection there because it's now what's the Wisconsin connection? Because I don't know it either. So you're originally from? Are you from? You're not from
Northern
Wisconsin?
California. So about 2 hours inland off the coast, a few hours north of San Francisco. Grew up there. Obviously, that was the smallest little bubble you could have ever lived in for racing. I don't think anybody even knew racing existed from anywhere else besides us. But I met Marty and Misty through when I first got into Super Lates. We had a little traveling circuit that kind of hit Northern California tracks.
Yeah.
He was a car owner at the time, and I was racing against him, and we got to be acquaintances then. And then one thing led to another, and we always just stayed in touch and always kind of became friends or more friends. And you fast forward, I moved to Wisconsin in 07, and that's actually Chris Purdy, the guy's crew chief in Schaefer Motorsports. He was my crew chief when I first moved to Wisconsin. That was a tie-in with them guys now. And then I moved back to California. I lost my ride, broke my knee. Ended up working for Junior Joyner, who crew chief Matt Crafton's deal. He gave me a shot just to be a fabricator. And then I just started meeting everybody in Bakersfield, including Byron Campbell himself, and Mike Keene, my crew chief, and Dan Smith. And those guys gave me chances to drive.
Yeah.
And then one thing led to another, and here I am standing with you guys.
That's what we was talking about, man. It's just people. It was key.
Yeah.
You surround yourself by right people and getting hooked up with people and being loyal to them. And
A little bit of luck.
it is. I mean, it goes a long ways. And just being honest is the biggest thing in racing, and being yourself. Just if you build a relationship, being honest and surround yourself by people you enjoy being around and having fun doing it. That's what it's all about. So. We appreciate what they've done and you and the sport and coming out here and hopefully we don't have to follow you on Sunday.
I'm gonna follow you on Sunday. Your Preece's car looked really good yesterday. I was following you from it. That thing looked pretty dang good.
Did it?
I thought it looked
good, because
all right.
I'm still just trying to figure my way around.
I
here.
can't figure him out,
too
but
tight.
I can't figure him out because
Still too tight.
that's that modified in him though.
Won't turn.
That's the modified. I think it's to just kind of roll that thing up and then your ass
Let
up
her
off the
point her
corner.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I was like, he's loose off the corner. He's never gonna last, but he always makes it last. So.
I just do that for sure.
I know how it is. I know how y'all
Sling
roll.
that right rear
I
out for
figured
you.
you out.
Make you think a certain
Yeah.
way.
I think we all three swap rides. I don't think any of us like each other's rides. Like, this thing's this or that, too free, too tight.
I think that's just us as racers, though. We're perfectionists.
I could say
Right?
out of all the cars, mine is the most different.
Really?
That's a fact.
Oh, mine's way
Yeah.
different. I
the
don't
way
know.
it drives.
So
So
he's sitting on like a 3K stop in his right rear. It's wild.
4.
4K?
So I'm just after driving, because I've been with Seneca 2016, I think, and I went and drove the Port City car there the last couple of years, and man, after driving, it's just the feel, and we all got different feels that we look for. I mean, your feel and Ryan's, they're all different. Not saying they're all wrong, but we got feels we look for, and I just couldn't find that feel in what I needed with the other manufacturers. So we'd come back to the Seneca, and it's just right back at home. I knew how to adjust it, knew what I was looking for, but it is different, and it drives different than a custom or a simple, more custom race car, I guess.
Right.
I'm not saying that a Fury's bad, a Port City's bad, a Hamke's bad, or anything. It's just what I like, and what I'm used to, what I'm comfortable in, It's just one of those things, I guess, modified. I don't know if y'all run into it modified. And you got your own little deal you like suspension-wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we all kind of find our home, right? Like,
it goes back to working on your own race car, I think, and knowing what you got. And
one thing that I thought was really interesting, it's like when I raced Matt Hirschman and how his car just rolls in through the center, and he can be up high, but he'll still drive off.
Yeah.
Same thing was watching you when I was behind you at the Derby a couple years ago with how that thing looks yawed out. But, man, it's got some left rear drive.
Yeah.
She comes up off the corner. Yeah. So it's different styles where your right front's pinned through the center and you're rolling a bunch of speed. And me, I drive it in until I see Jesus, and then I get her pointed, and then I come up. So we all just have different driving styles.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. I've noticed getting out of the seat and working with kids more often. I have a hard time watching cars.
I can't do it.
I'll watch them does that guy look loose? Or like, if you think he looks loose, you see you out there.
I know, right?
So it's hard to adjust and know what you're looking for to help guys out, because it's being behind the wheel for so long, you don't get to see that part.
Yeah, you don't, and it's hard for me. I've struggled. I've struggled helping people.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to look at. That's why I told him. He's like, man, that thing looks terrible. I'm like, it don't drive bad.
I'm starting to think he does that to all of us. He does it to everybody.
Derek and Ty have the worst looking cars. Like somebody says, say you're talking to somebody about Derek, and it's like, well, does it look good? Yeah. Well, then he's terrible.
Yeah.
If it's sideways, it's fast, right? Yeah. And he can drive it that way. Most people can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a feather in your cap.
Yeah.
Like, most people can't drive it like that.
That's why I'm so low end. Those Furies always go free.
They are.
You just gotta be low end and not have the right rear hanging out.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people don't realize here. I mean, you got to be careful here because you're on the fuel turn down the hill, so it can get free in. I mean, in anything, but the Furies get free in. So you adjust that's what it goes back to, adjust your driving style to that car, and that's the feel I like, how I drive. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes on Sunday. It'd be fun.
You asked earlier about the differences with a late model and a modified. The loose end in a late model is so lazy compared to what the modified is.
So it's like a quick snap.
The reaction, you know what? You actually just pointed it out to me. The modified, everything happens, it feels quicker.
Quick.
You can correct it quicker when it comes to going into the corner. But like the late model, it just felt lazier. It just felt like it took so long for it to happen. So it's different. Maybe we'll get you guys a modified sometime so you can
have
feel
a match race right here at Pensacola.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
It would.
I think it'd be cool. We can get that modified race.
40,000 to win show, maybe 50,000.
Hell no, we can't do that. It paid more than Derby.
Huh?
40 would be paid more than Derby.
Yeah. Going dirt racing, sounds like.
So yeah, that's on the radar.
Yeah.
So tell us about your business, what you got going on, helping people.
Yeah, so Derek Thorn Racing is DTR. We have a little shop there in Bakersfield, and this year got to work with like Sean Hingarani, got to go like Chili Willy and run some races like that. Been working with Jacob Gomes all year in the SRL Southwest Tour. Mike Keene and myself working in the same shop together. So it's been a change of pace, but I've enjoyed it. I got a couple house cars that I rent out when I can. Jake Bowman was a customer this year, and trying to just be smart about it, try to provide a service to these younger drivers, try to take what we've learned with me driving or with my crew chiefing and then apply it and give kids, a feel for what they need to be feeling in a race car. Because I have like a lot of kids jump into the sport and maybe don't necessarily know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So you try to shorten that gap, and then it's always nice to have a driver close in size where you can hop in and relate and at least try to shorten that. Pretty much I feel like you're just trying to shorten the learning curve for kids. So, been able to travel a little bit, work with Jet Nolan some, getting to work with Connor Jones this weekend a little bit, and just doing whatever I can to try to make the business work, the business side of it. But at the same time, I don't want to give up driving yet. Like I'm 37, and a couple kids at home. I hate being gone 10 days at a time.
Yep.
You know, that's the hardest part about it.
That's
but
tough.
at the end of the day, if you can find a balance there, I don't want to be on 40 weekends a year, but if you can find a balance and pay the bills and provide a service to these kids and come out and have some fun at the same time, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So do you do the thing where you're at the track and they're not very good, and then you just get in and show them that it can go 3/10 faster and
No, like that's
humiliate them, or no?
That's usually never, like, the goal getting in it is to try to pinpoint something. Like, hey, you know, the kid, because there's always a gap. It's the crew chief and the driver. And they're going, well, you're driving it wrong. Well, you're setting it up wrong, right? So, like, I try to be the guy that comes in and says, yeah, the driver is driving it wrong, or you have a car that's just handling like complete garbage, right?
Yeah.
So I try to be that mediator of sorts, and then when I get out, I don't just point fingers, but try to be like, hey, man, like, you know, this thing's got too much bar in it, or the right front, it's hitting the left front too hard, it's not traveling enough, or the right rear spring's overloaded, something like that to help maybe get them pointed in the right direction. That's usually, I'm not saying they don't like going fast, but it's more or less try to help them get stuff figured out.
So we did talk about Pepperjack and the Tool Shack earlier. Are there any other sponsors, people that help you, that you want to give a shout out to? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Like so like Marty and Misty at Pepperjack Kennels, the Tool Shack, Colton Wright and Regina Wright. But like we've had like the Schaefers giving me the opportunity to just go race. You know, that's the biggest nut, and having Chris Purdy and Paul and Paulie. You know, he's a great racer himself, so he steps out of the seat to let me come race at tracks that he's not necessarily a big fan of. But you know, I've had so many people over the years with like Power Grade Incorporated, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila's on board this week, which is real fun. QC Fleet out of South Florida is helping us out a little bit. Rent Source Property Management is also doing the same thing. So it's a culmination of everybody, man, that comes together to make this all work. And the Derby creates a lot of excitement. So I feel like you get people that just want to help you make it possible, right? Yeah. So just to be here and come, like, I feel like every year to come do it's a dang blessing. So just to be here and be able to come do it's pretty cool.
Well, I tell you what, we enjoy both of y'all guys coming on. We just, you know, a lot of great talent here. You know, so this weekend will be fun. But we appreciate y'all coming on. One thing that I kind of ask all my guys that we come on is, well, you kind of, you know, everybody looks at us like in the racing mode, you know, what you are, you know, because you already got a camera on there at the racetrack. People don't see you outside the racetrack. Now I put you on the spot sometimes, but what do you enjoy doing, or what do you know people, or tell people about that you don't really know about you? It's something different that, you know, that people normally don't get to see, I guess.
Right. Preece go yet?
You go.
I mean, like people, for example, they always see the, you know, when you're serious at the racetrack and stuff. But when you get out and you have fun, something you enjoy doing.
I always say, man, when you sit down with people and just have a beer with them, like, we all might be competitors, but like, it's easier to not like somebody. So that way when the opportunity comes about to put a bumper to somebody, you don't feel bad about it, or as bad about it. So you try to keep that disparity. But I think being like, just me, since I've had kids are 4 and 6, like, that is it. Like, now that I have kids, that's all I really want to do.
Man, like, you just have another one. I just had another one 2 days ago.
Congrats, man. I'm surprised the wife let you out of the house.
Oh my God.
Well, I got
a good wife. She's we said from the beginning. I got a 7-year-old, 4, and a couple of days now, and
everything's going good.
Everything's good. So it's tough at home. She does a lot of the work, all the work, but you gotta have a good family. It makes you think differently when you have family and stuff like that.
So when you hear the baby crying at 2, 3 in the morning, do you do the old thing the husband does where you look over, you need help?
I do. Oh yeah. She's like, no, I'm good. I was like, good.
I would go ahead, go back to sleep.
But what's one thing people, what do you enjoy doing? You know, what do you do outside of racing?
That's pretty much it. I'm racing the kids. That's it. Try the free time I do have, I try to at least do some quality family time if at all possible. Travel, camp, do whatever I can to try to have, like, the kids have some fun, you know, while I'm at home, you know. But that's pretty much it, man.
So you got a girl and a boy, 2 girls?
Girl and a boy.
Girl and a boy.
Yeah, had 1 and 1 and snipped it. Called it good.
Man, I got 3 girls. 3 girls. I told the doc the other day, we was in there, and I
pulled the tape off.
The doc, I said, man, doc, I said, you know, I wanted to really have a boy, but I said, Doc, you saved me a lot of money. He's like, no, I mean, you got to have weddings here. I was like, no, Doc, you saved me a lot of money. You don't realize this racing's expensive. I got an expensive hobby. So, yeah. But I think we're done after this, and we're going to call it quits. If I was younger, man, there's nothing better than the kids. I mean, I love them to death. Like you see, they grow up different. Like you raise them the same, but the different personalities that come with the kids is just awesome. It's amazing. Trying to talk Preece into here and having another one and go ahead and get it done.
Man, how about this derby?
You married yet?
Me?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been married. We just had a kid 4 months ago.